What is going on, you guys? Welcome to a final episode of Hawk News. My name's Wes Calorie.
I'm Zach with an H.
I'm Eli Zotter-Brown.
Today is Friday, June 15th. It is a day 2. We start with a period G. We got a lot of stuff going on, so let's get into today's
Top stories. And now a message from the BHS SAD chapter. There were 118 drunk driving fatalities in Massachusetts last year, which represents roughly 36% of all traffic deaths. Oftentimes, we fail to realize how far the effects of drunk driving goes and how lives are affected. Here's a video from SAD to raise awareness of what it's like to lose a friend.
Hi, I'm District Attorney Joe Early Jr. My office recently sponsored high school students from across Worcester County to create the following public service announcements about the dangers of drunk driving. As you come to an age where you're beginning to learn to drive, I want to make sure that you think twice before you get behind the wheel of a car after you've been drinking. We know that life can change in an instant, and a drunk driving crash can ruin your life. It can potentially ruin someone else's life. And one of the worst parts of my job is to talk to families who have lost someone in a crash. I look into their faces and I see the pain that's all too real. That is the worst part of my job. Also, imagine how your parents would feel if you didn't make it home one night. And imagine if your actions claimed the life of someone else. Maybe your best friend, maybe a relative, someone else in that car with you, or an innocent person on the road. These are the stories that we hear far too often. So please, watch and learn from what you hear from these high school students, just like yourselves, about what they have to say about drunk driving. It may save your life.
Last week, some of our very own students were fortunate enough to represent us at Special Olympics event. Hawk News corresponded. Joe was able to capture some footage of the event.
Let's check it out.
Hello, Ms. Walnut. I'm interviewing for Hawk News. What can you tell me about it?
So today is the Special Olympics. This is one of my favorite days of the whole year. This is my 5th year coming to Special Olympics, and it's a great opportunity for my students to come and compete and for their family and friends to come and cheer them on, and it's just a really fun day. This year we have some best buddies that came with us to cheer our athletes on, so it's just a really good day.
Today we are celebrating a Day of Silence sponsored by the BHS Coexist group. This is a student-led national event where folks take a vow of silence to highlight the silencing and erasure of LGBTQ plus people at our school. Here is a video that provides a little more insight.
The Day of Silence is a national day of action where students across the country take a vow of silence to call attention to the silencing effect of anti-LGBT bullying and harassment in schools. Recent statistics show that 9 out of 10 LGBT teens have reported being bullied in school within the past year because of their sexual orientation or gender identity. Over half of all LGBT students reported hearing homophobic remarks, often at school, and more than 30% reported missing at least a day of school in the past month out of fear for their own personal safety. Day of Silence gives hundreds of thousands of students in over 10,000 schools across the country an opportunity to stand together and speak out against the name-calling and harassment experienced by LGBT students and their allies. Silence is taking a vow of silence to raise awareness for the discrimination LGBT students face and become a place of tolerance and acceptance.
Spinning our wheels at phys ed. Unicycles are not only at the circus. This week, one of our students took the initiative to bring his unicycle to allow other students to experience this fun and challenging event. Take a look.
All right, can we get a basketball?
Bro, you about to fall. What do you mean?
Can we get a basketball? Oh, yeah. He got his rebound. Oh.
Attention students, make sure that you clean out your phys ed lockers in the girls' and boys' locker room by June 20th. Otherwise, we're going to give your stuff away, and your gym teachers will not be happy. Next up, Collins Criteria with the one and only
Colin
Eliason.
Eliason.
Check it out.
Thank you, Joe. Thanks for bringing me for one last episode. Hello, everyone. Colin Eliason, and this may be a bit late or a bit early since this event comes out in September. But today, Collins Criteria is dedicated to all who grew up with Nickelodeon in the 1990s. On Sunday, September 8th, 1996, the iconic American live-action/animated educational children's television series known as Blue's Clues premiered on Nickelodeon, which lasted for 6 whole seasons and lasted for 143 episodes from 1996 to 2006. The show itself is about a little blue puppy named Blue, of course, who would leave 3 blue paw prints, and the host from 1996 to 2002, Steve Burns, or the host from 2006 to 2006, Jonathan Patton, who would look for these clues with the help from kids off screen. The first host, Steve Burns, was remembered to have a green striped shirt, but left the show in 2002 to pursue a career in singing. But in the show, he left to go to college, and being replaced by Jonathan Patton, who played Steve's younger brother in the show, Joe, and surprisingly, a lot of fans didn't like him. Maybe it's because he was acting too hard, or he wore squares instead of stripes, but to be honest, I find him okay. I mean, he wears different colors besides green. I also heard that the show itself is getting revived with a reboot with a new host and 20 new episodes. If the reboot is a success, and I even heard that WWE star John Felix Anthony Cena Jr. apparently auditioned to be the host of Blue's Clues. And that is all for now. Collins Criteria, and to quote Blue's Clues, "Now it's time for so long, but we'll sing just one more song. Thanks for doing your part. You sure are smart, you know, with me and you and our friend Blue, we can do anything that we wanna do. Na 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 na. Yeah. Okay. The cycle is over.
Okay. And now it's time for sports.
Hey Tyler, sports me over that sports ball. Sports!
There's no sports.
Thank you guys so much for watching Hawk News. It's been Wes Calorie.
It's been Zachary Joseph.
It's been Eli Azana Brown.
We hope you guys have a great summer since it's right around the corner. And thank you, Colin, for all the Collins Criterias. And we'll see you next year.